We're recording now.
All right. And this is Tim Hay, Chairman, Conservation Commission.
Stephen Winters, Conservation Commissioner.
Ryan Burns, Conservation Member.
All right. Do you have a copy of the agenda, Tim?
Yes, I do. Yep.
We don't have any minutes to approve because they aren't ready yet.
All right. Then we will table that. And the first item on the agenda is continued public hearing for 400 Manley Street, notice of intent, general stormwater permit for Kelly Engineering for redevelopment of work and solar project. And they have requested a continuance to April 7th.
Okay, can we pause just for a second?
Yep.
Kim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and are you hearing the meetings pretty good so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, continue, Tim. Oh, I guess you probably want to know. I just want to say about that 40 Manley Street, our consultant did a review. I forwarded it to Kelly Engineering, and they have a bunch of things they have to address. So they asked for the continuance till April 7th. And if they're not ready then, we may have to open that and then continue it again. But they're working on all of the changes that Alan and Major, our consultant, had asked for. So I'd recommend the vote for continuing it. Hi, Paula. We're into the meeting and it's being recorded. Do you have any objection?
None at all. Nope.
Okay, great. All right, Tim.
Okay, so we have the request for continuance to April 7th. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Move the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. 400 Manley Street will go to April. And next we have Scotland Maple Street, 40B, Driscoll Engineering, Cohesive Developers for the subdivision into 44 residential lots. Discussion regarding the revised plans and review from 53G.
All right. 5 o'clock last night, we received the review letter from Alan and Major, and it was extensive. They had a lot of comments and concerns, and I forwarded that to the developer and his engineers this morning. But I had already asked them yesterday afternoon to send in a request for the continuance because I knew that either we weren't going to have that review letter in time for tonight's meeting, and even if we did, it wouldn't have enough time for them to respond to it, them being the developer. So they had requested as well to continue the hearing to April 7th. So I recommend that you go ahead and continue it till April 7th.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to continue Maple Street and Scotland Street till April 7th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. John, would we have documents before that meeting to review if they can get them done? Or are we going to get the documents and then have to continue it to review them?
Based on my review of the letter, it was extensive amount of things they were asking for. My feeling is that even with the extra week rolled into March like we have,
yep.
It's going to be pretty tight for them to get it back so that Alan and Major would have a chance to do a review. But, they might be able to. But what I hope to do is have the ability to have the developer be part of the remote meeting like we're having here. And if we can figure out something for all the abutters to do the same, then everybody can participate in that April 7th meeting ask questions, because we'll have the developer there and he'll be able to respond to both your questions and the abutters. But I've got to work on that. And actually, things are working out pretty well tonight, but it doesn't give the abutters a chance to see any documents that you will see a little bit later for some of these other items on the agenda. But I'm working on that. So anyway, that's the plan.
John, if they have
Go ahead.
a Gmail address, if they have a Gmail account and can be invited as an invite to the meeting, would that allow them in just like we are, so they don't have to dial in?
Yes, abutters can do that. And I'm going to send out an email to those that do have Gmail and suggest that they become that they'll be invited to the meeting and explain how they can do that. And then also same with the developer and his team. And I would think they'd be able to open up a Gmail account just for this purpose, since it seems like it's going to go on for a while.
Yep. And it looks like if not, then they can even dial in as an invite as
Right.
an option.
Right.
So they still could get in that way. Okay.
So the bottom line, Kim, if you can hear, and if there's anybody else that's joined in from the abutters, the meeting has been continued, and I did, for the commission's information, I did send the abutters a copy of the review, and I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow for all the commission members, so you have a copy of it. I didn't want to have it become a distraction for tonight's meeting with what you're doing and participating in. So I didn't send it to you, but I'll do it tomorrow, and you'll
Okay.
be able to see for yourself how extensive it is.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
There's
So we
nothing
can-
else there. We can go to the administrative discussion part.
Yep.
The water management mitigation plan. Should we just need authorization for my signature on that?
Yeah, I'm just going to do something quick here. I'm going to call up the documents.
Yep.
Let's see, how do I do this now? Present. Bear with me.
That's okay. It's a learning curve for all of us.
I'm just hoping my dogs don't bark and everything. We'll all be deaf.
Can you see?
Yeah, we're seeing your screen on your laptop.
All right.
Yep.
Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the document?
Yep.
All right. So this is the water mitigation parcels, the three of them that we talked about at the previous meeting, and they will be used to allow the town to draw more water out of the aquifer, because these will be forever protected. And what we need to do is get a vote by the commission to allow Tim to sign this document, which is a landowner agreement, and it pretty much requires the agreement that you see here to use said land as mitigation, and in the event of any use of activity on the property that in violation of the terms of the deed, we will notify the Department of Environmental Protection and the Water Department. So it's basically a authorization for the commission and the water department to be able to use the land, and it's going to be signed by Tim and Eldon, the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, which will happen tomorrow night. So if everybody's in agreement, we'll need a vote for Tim to be able to sign that tomorrow. Did anybody have any questions?
No.
Then I'll entertain a motion to allow me to sign the water management agreement.
No, make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And I will stop by town hall tomorrow to get that signed.
All right. Do we have somebody else on the? Nope. Okay. All right. So next is the Scotland Acres possible trespass. So if you can see it on the screen, the little X that you see moving up near the top,
Yep.
Yep.
that's South Elm Street.
Okay.
This is Chris Yandatelli's house.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the house next door that is encroaching, because this piece here is owned by the Conservation Commission.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
There's a backhoe here, and it looks like 2 storage trailers.
Oh,
Plus they've been using this land here. And I sent the owner a letter saying that he should contact me. And I heard the other day that possibly he's not living there, that his wife is living there, or a former wife. So I'm going to have to go down and knock on the door, but I wanted to alert you to the fact that we have a sizable amount of trespassing going, and that I'll be working on it.
Is
Okay.
any of that wet, John?
Not right here.
No. Okay.
So this is the river,
Okay.
West Meadow Brook, that crosses under South Elm Street.
Okay.
And if you're driving towards the west,
Yeah.
heading towards Lincoln Street, after you go across the bridge, there's a kind of an open field area where they used to access to go in to do all their farming.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That piece right there is owned by Hasiotis,
Okay.
but this piece here is ours as well. So
Okay.
this is West Bridgewater, this is West Bridgewater.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to give everybody an update on that, and it's a little bit more complicated since it doesn't appear that it's owned by Johnson, and apparently he's not living there. So I have to go talk to the wife and see what is going to happen. But my idea is that we may have to remove this stuff and then lien the property.
Oh, okay.
All right. So next we have 20 Cross Street, right for first refusal.
All right. So the owner of this land that you see crosshatch has entered into a purchase and sales, and they are we have first right of refusal, and you can see that it's very narrow. I don't know how they could possibly develop it economically, but it doesn't really tie into anything else that we have for land nearby. A little bit farther up the sheet is Holmes Hill, maybe right about in this area, if you can see my
Yeah.
cursor.
Mm-hmm.
This is Commonwealth of Mass Fish and Game.
Oh, that's okay.
This is the Anderson Agricultural Restriction Parcel, which is called the Town River Limited Partnership. So my recommendation is we don't try to purchase it and let it go, but that's up to the commission. I have one more document to show a little bit more, a bigger view. So again, this is all what fish and game.
Yep.
This is the Anderson agricultural restriction. We do own this here, And this is the 110 acres off of Scotland Street that we own. These 3 parcels here are what we're just put into, or will be putting into, a water mitigation plan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So if it was more connected to something, I would recommend it. But I would recommend we send a letter to the selectmen saying we don't consider it useful, so we don't recommend buying it.
And not to mention the back end of that is pretty wet if you get towards the back. So you'd have a tough time, like you said, with the narrowness of it, developing it for much anything anyways, other than agricultural fields, which I think most of it's a field now, isn't it, John?
Good part of it's field.
Yeah.
I should have done a Google aerial so that you could see it, but I'm sure the person who owns this here
I'm very familiar. That's mine.
knows it pretty well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would entertain a motion to send a letter saying that we're not interested in the purchase.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
I
So moved. Great.
All right, so
Yeah, we have 426 East Center Street update possibly.
yeah. So here's the plan that was prepared by the engineer. And this here is debris piles, some sludge, more debris, and sludge piles. And you'll notice they're on the abutting property. The botanist flagged the line up to this point and didn't feel he could go and trespass on the abutting property. So he stopped the wetland line here, but it's my opinion this is all wet. And he's going to have to pull that out of there and restore it. But we can't give him permission to do anything there without the permission of these people. So on his own, he's pulling this out of here without the commission's telling him to do it, which doesn't put us into a position where we're having him do work that is on somebody else's land. He's doing it at his own risk and his own possible detriment. But once he gets it off of that land, I think at that point we can have him do a notice of intent to see what he's going to do to square the rest of this away in the 50-foot buffer. And then also have the neighbor give him permission to restore this back as wetlands.
How about the parcel on the other side of the property, John? It's colored in pink.
This here,
Yep.
same problem.
Okay.
I have to contact that owner, and I think she's part of the scouting program.
Yep.
And see, what we can do there, but he's got to get it out of there as well. So he's working on it little by little. And so when he gets it off of the properties, I think then we should do an enforcement and have him file the notice of intent. But I'm reluctant to tell him to do much with stuff on somebody else's land. Let him do it, and he knows he's got to get it off of there.
Yep. And
So
once
the
it's all
update-
on his property, then we can figure out the plan from there.
Yeah. So the update right now is that he's working on it and getting it off the abutter's land, and I'll check and see if he's including this, and he should be. But he does have some issues with abutters, and I mean issues where he feels they're picking on him. So it has to be handled as diplomatically as possible.
Yep.
So it's progressing as best I can give you.
All right. That's an update.
All right.
194 South Main Street.
So this is that piece of property where they were doing a septic system upgrade, and they had also pushed material off into the wetlands. And it's 194 South Main Street, where it's a huge building. It occupies most of the lot. Whoop. Hold on for a second. I'm going to mute this. So here's the new septic system, and we asked to have a wall put in to prevent them from going back in here after they've refurbished this area.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner has sent us a letter, which was the top part of this, asking if they could modify, instead of having a wall, to put up this chain link fence with a small 4-foot gate so they can get in there to do maintenance later on. But of course, all this would have to happen after they do the restoration. But they feel that having that block wall is an expense that is driving it to the point where it's going to be difficult for them to accomplish. So they're asking to see if they could modify their project as a project change. And I don't see an issue with it.
Can we request signage on that so that there's no dumping beyond the fence?
Yeah,
Obviously, snow removal, all of a sudden you put that fence there, and I can foresee it either getting plowed up against it or dumped over it.
or trash.
Yep, debris, all kinds of stuff collecting. I mean, I know we did that with the project at Market Basket, and it seems to have worked.
Yep. Yeah, I could put that in if the commission votes to allow it, I'll put that in the condition.
Now, are they wanting to put the fence the whole distance of the back, or just the area inside the red?
Just inside the red, because they need this part here to the left of that block, that red rectangle.
Yep.
As part of the septic system. So they're putting that in, but they want that back line to be chain link fence.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
No.
No.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to call it a minor project change.
So I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moving second, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
All right.
And then we have 5 Manley Street request extension.
All right. So just to refresh everybody's memory, at the last meeting, they were in for a stormwater approval for that piece of land that's just down Manley Street from West Center Street. And they discovered that the notice of intent that had been approved by the commission almost 3 years ago now is about to expire. So they've asked for a 3-year extension. So here's Manley Street, and the building that's in front of it.
Yep.
They're going to expand out to the back there, and they asked for a 3-year extension. I don't have a problem with the extension, but I don't know. We usually don't do 3 years, so you might want to do something less.
I think in the past we've generally given them 2 years, haven't we? And asked them to come back again if they have to.
Yes.
Anybody have anything they want to say about that?
No, 2's good.
No.
No.
I think 2's smart.
Go with 2 and they can come back if they need to.
All right.
Yeah, we could always give them 1 more year after that if they were showing progress. I got the impression at the last meeting that they have somebody that wants to go in there.
Right. They definitely wanted to expand that front building. So if nothing else, they get started on that to show that they're moving forward with it.
Right.
All right. Then I'll entertain a motion to give them a 2-year extension.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Now we have Vitz Way, a partial certificate of compliance request.
There he is. Paula,
Yes.
we don't have his name, so we can't include him as part of the attendees.
Oh, that was Lily. That was Lily.
All right, so here is Vitz Way. It's an interim as-built, and you might be able to see that this detention basin is not completed. It's only rough graded. Same with this one here. There's blacktop all throughout here, but this is all gravel because it was so late in the season they couldn't finish it off.
Jesse, take her out. Put her out.
And the biggest problem is that they didn't have these stormwater basins up front done. And at the last meeting, we gave them a minor project change, which allows a well to be put in here to substitute the berm that would be along Vitz Way. So you can see that they're really, I don't even know if they're 50% done.
Sit down and be quiet. Sit down.
So I'm not recommending that we issue a partial certificate.
Sorry, guys.
What we have done, though, is I've forced the enterprise to get a construction bond to show that they are going to be able to complete the project if the contractor were to leave, which I have no indication that he would, and he's pretty reputable and done a lot of work for enterprise elsewhere. So I don't anticipate that'll be an issue, but I did ask them to get a surety bond. It's made out to enterprise, so it's not made out to us. But if we don't give them a certificate, then we're still in the driver's seat. So I'm not recommending it. It's still too much work to be done there.
Yeah, it looks like there's almost, well, to me, at least 50%, and a lot of the stormwater mitigation and stuff they have to do hasn't even been touched.
Right.
I'll entertain a motion to deny certificate of compliance.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
And that's it.
All right. How did everybody think it works?
I thought it was good.
Well, I thought it worked well.
The dog fight in the middle of it.
Hey, that's what happens when we have to deal with this corona. So,
So are you're still able to see that plan?
No, it's gone.
no, we're all back to the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to try something again here.
Yep.
So what I'm looking for, and maybe somebody can see it, is there a way that we can enlarge this? And if I don't see one, what's this here? Add a comment. So I see that as a drawback. I don't know. I'll work on it, but I'm concerned that we aren't able to really look at those plans and see something up close. So maybe I still need to send everybody your own, but then I don't know how you'd see it and be in the meeting at the same time. So I'll work on it.
I just went quickly to take a look at our inbox packet that you send us, and the meeting still keeps going. You can go and open up that document, and you can still hear the voice, but you can't see anything unless you click back on the top. where it says meet,
Yep.
there's a little green symbol and it says
Oh, yeah.
meet.
Yeah.
So as long
Okay.
as you click back to that, you can go back to the video and join the meeting. But you can still hear everything in the discussion part if you click to the other screen.
So you can still discuss, but you can call up your own documents. So if I send the documents like I always did, you'd be able to see it.
You'd be able
All
to
right,
see it and open it up. And then we could talk and then you could go back
Okay.
by clicking
Yep.
on that tab at the top to join the
And
video.
when it's in your documents, you can enlarge it and move it around and do all
Right.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try that then.
We got a little learning curve, but we're going to figure it out. This is not the end of the world.
Well, I thought it was good. I like the way John was pointing it out, and I could see it. I could see where where he was pointing. I thought it was good.
I mean,
And
again,
it's
the
a
only,
little bit more relaxed sitting in your own home.
the
Even
only
with the
problem
dog.
is the public meeting part of
Oh
it.
yeah.
Being allowed to have other participants at least view and see what the discussion is.
Yeah.
But once we figure that out, I think
Yeah.
it'll work all okay.
I mean, for the first time, it just went really well. I thought it was clear and it was to the point and easy to see.
That sounds good. And apparently there was just one abutter that called in to listen, and then she left because now the music is in the background. It's on, like you're on hold music.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yep.
So I don't think there's anybody else listening. So
Okay.
all right. So I'm going to stop recording, I think. Let's see. Stop recording. I'll wait until you adjourn.
Okay.
I'm not going to do
All right.
that now.
And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
No, make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moving second, all those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Yippee.
All righty.
I was waiting for that,
Thank you
fella.
very much, everybody.